impact neighboring states. Mizoram is going to go to the assembly polls this year, but with the ongoing ethnic violence in neighboring state of Manipur, the question is, will Manipur and the Uniform Civil Code impact Mizoram elections? Will BJP get tagged as anti-Kuki? Will Chief Minister Zoram Thanga's clarion call in a tweet create a different political ground? 62 days of violence. 12,000 refugees in Manipur. Churches burned, temples burned, but there is no stability. Schools opened, but very few kids came to the school. So the Kuki Zomi community in Manipur shares a deep ethnic bond with the Mizos of Mizoram. Since the violence began, the thousands from the community have sought refuge in Mizoram. At present, more than 12,000 displaced tribals have taken refuge in the state of Mizoram, while 35,000 Myanmaris and 7,000 tribals from Bangladesh are taking shelter in this small state. Zoram Thanga has hinted at reviving the demand to bring Zo people under a single administrative unit. A lot of people would say, is it about Greater Mizoram? On the other hand, he has been pretty perturbed. He has written about churches. He has written to Law Commission on the proposed implementation of the Uniform Civil Code, saying that under Article 371, it's not allowed. Mizoram National Front passed a resolution against UCC in 2023. So the big question is, I'm joined by my input editor Brijesh Pandey. I'm joined by my news editor Pankaj Mishra. Brijesh, will Manipur first impact elections in Mizoram? And if it can, why?
It will 100% impact Manipur elections in Mizoram. The biggest reason is because, the shared ethnicity. Both Kukis and Zo, they belong to the similar ethnicity. And this is the reason why the Mizoram Chief Minister, Zoram Thanga, couldn't delay. And if you go by the kind of response he has said on Twitter, that my blood boils and, we cannot allow this thing to happen, and asking the center for help in running those refugee camps. The tone and tenor of that tweet left no doubt about it that he is also facing the domestic heat as far as, what is happening to Kukis in the state of Manipur. The more, the Kukis will be targeted in Manipur, the bigger impact it will have in the state of Mizoram. And it is bad news as far as the state of, in the BJP in the state is concerned, because if you remember, Kartike, almost a month back, when 10 Kuki MLAs wrote a letter, Manipuri Kuki MLAs wrote a letter, the first resonance or the first support which they got was from the BJP party in the state of Mizoram. They were the first one who openly came out and supported, because A, they share the same ethnicity, B, they know that if situation goes out of hand, then their credibility will hit an all-time low, and the polls will slip out of their hand.
Okay. Do you agree, Pankaj, that Manipur is going to have an impact? Let us play out these. Let us play out the relief camp visuals first, and answer my question.
Absolutely, Kartikeya. See, geographically, if you look at it at the map, you have Manipur on top, and you have Mizoram right at the bottom, and the kind of borders that they share is clear. That it's not just the geographical connection that they have, but it's the ethnic and also the socio-cultural connect is very strong. Given the fact that the way Mizoram has responded to Manipur's call, Mizoram was the first state, although being the neighboring state also, to give all the relief camps. People were literally walking out of Manipur into Mizoram. So much so that the students who were not able to go back to Manipur during the clashes days, they took shelter in Mizoram. So that is the kind of relation and situation that these two states are entangled in. And yes, what is happening in Manipur definitely is going to have a resonance in Mizoram elections, because as Brajesh also mentioned, the common ethnicity is one factor, Kartikeya, and the second point is, see, Northeast, again, I would say, is a different ball game. If we have to look at it, we used to study about Seven Sisters, but they are not just called Seven Sisters just because of their geographical connect, but also because of the kind of connection, the interlinkages, the tribes and the sub-tribes that run deep there. Obviously, the sentiments would be high and the impact would be palpable there.
So, Brijesh, is it going to be a double whammy for Bharatiya Janata Party? On one hand, you have UCC, and on the other hand, you have Kukis who have gone to Mizoram, and you have a very angry Zoram Thama.
Well, it is going to be double whammy, and this is the reason why, Kartikeya, the soundbite which you are seeing right now is the second soundbite given by a minister in the central cabinet, where he is taking pains to explain that the status of tribals is not going to be touched come what may. They will be kept out of that UCC, and there will be no imposition whatsoever as far as the tribes are concerned. And there's specific mention on Northeast, because they know that, given the kind of ground sentiment which is there, and for BJP, it's an unfortunate turn of events. Why I'm saying this is because, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is one of the the showcase achievement of his government was also